let me introduce you the PLC we will be using in our training. In our trainings, we will use S71200 12C, DC, DC, DC. Now, the letter C here says this is the compact version. With all Siemens products, for example with all drivers, if there is a driver called G120, then there is another one called G120C. Compact means it has some features, meaning for this PLC, for S71200 and S71500s, you may only purchase the CPU. That means you can just purchase the CPU by itself. You can mount additional input or output modules, but S71500C series comes with mounted compact input and outputs. This one is also like that. This 1200 already has compact input and outputs. Look, there. The ones above are the inputs, the ones below are the outputs. Look, from 0 to 7 we have 8 input, but from 0 to 5 we have only 6 digital outputs for this PLC. Now, what does this DC-DC-DC mean? When selecting this PLC from the catalog, we see letters like DC-DC or AC-DC. The first of these expressions show our PLC's feed, meaning you feed the DC ones with 720 volts, but the DC ones with 24 volts. DC in the middle shows the sensors. The DC at the end shows whether your PLC has roll exits or transistor exits. Now, let's explain roll output and transistor output. Now, you can't perform fast on-off switches using roll output PLCs. These have small 2 ampere rolls. If I'm not remembering it wrong, we are going to need to look at the catalog. These rolls, after all, are mechanical. On-off speed can't be as fast as a transistor. But with a PLC that ends with DC expression in the end, you can perform PV and MPT and fast counting processes easily using this PLC. If you are going to perform fast counting or other transistor processes, be worried that the expression should end with DC. This is important. A lot of friends buy the wrong ones and these PLCs end up staying in the shelves forever. And let me tell you this, with some PLCs you can't mount external modules, meaning with S71200s, for example with 1211 series, you can't mount additional modules. We have already talked about this, but it's good to remember. We have told you our PLC model and what these expressions are, and also these input and outputs. There, these are my run, stop, error and mount LEDs, and we will cover these in detail. This one shows when it works and when it's idle, another shows errors. That cover, we can open it like this, the cover there, we can open it. Look, we can open it like this. From here you can extract the cover. Again, you can open the cover below. You see the sensor connections below and you can also see the feed points. These are the PLC's feed. Look at the expression there, the arrow points down. The PLC's feed is where we will give 24 volts into it. You can see the tips that go from the PLC to sensor. There are analog signal tips. Over this PLC is 2 analog inputs. Look there, these are 2 analog inputs. There are 7 digital inputs, I will show you. There are 6 digital outputs and this shows them. My PLC's serial number is written on the side. You can see it from here, there. Here for example, there is my PLC serial number. There 6ES72121 AE400XB and 0. Look, there is a card slot. These PLCs S71200s don't use cards while working. You don't have to use a card. We can extract it like this. Let me extract it now. Let's open the bottom cover. What was here when we open it like this, and let me do it. Guys, look, there is my Ethernet port. There I have my Ethernet port, and there is my PLC MAC address. The MAC address here is important. we will show you what to do with MAC address. It is the PLC's physical section. Over there are my digital output points. Look at my digital outputs, you can see them. 3M plus 3M and 3M tips, you can see from here. And there's a card over this PLC. We have told you these before, but repetition is good. On these PLCs you can mount external cards. This is one of the best features of S71200s. We have told you that there are 6 digital outputs and 8 digital inputs and 2 analog inputs, but I don't have analog output. What I did here is, rather than using an analog module to help with the demonstration, I have brought an analog exit card. Look, this is the exit card. You can remove it like this. There, be gentle. You need to remove it carefully because it is really sensitive. When you look into the analog exit card, you see that it says AQ. Again, you can see the connections from here. Look, you can see them. Now, serial number can be seen on it. My camera can't focus, but let me help. SP1232 analog exit card is what this is. It has 12-bit resolution, plus negative 0.10 volt DC and 0.20 milliampere this analog card has. Thus, we have introduced you the S71200. Actually, as we said, S1200 is one of the best PLCs in the market. After all, it is the most versatile one. You can use it comfortably. In the end, you can mount communications to the left side, and to the right side you can mount input or output modules. And this is all we can say about S71200s. We will repeat the notes that we forgot in the training in our education videos, and maybe, just maybe, we have told you these things we said here before, and some things will come naturally, as you know, and these are the details of S71200, and we will have enough time to examine it in detail in our education videos.